Yes.
What's your last name?
Mentally.
Mentally, like Bentley, but with an M?
Well, it's like, yeah, whatever.
Okay.
It's like, whatever.
I always tell you, just don't call me an asshole and we'll be fine. I really don't care what you say about my last name. It doesn't matter. I'll usually roll with it. Somebody's like, Mentele, I'll be like, right here.
Mentally.
Too much time correcting people. Why? Who cares?
That's why I changed mine. It's way easier now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No, Hayes, it's pretty easy to say and to
But
read.
what was it? Oh,
Stipa. But it was also like
right.
Stipa, Stipa. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Same with my last name. My last name is Pacheco.
Yeah.
And it's exactly how it's spelled, but people like to say Pachio, Pachico,
Right.
Pistachio.
Well, that's the thing. And if you're not even if it's like a teacher just calling your name or some stupid thing, why correct him? Let's just go. We have more important things.
Doesn't matter that much.
Can you actually do
thank
me
you.
a favor and close those curtains?
sure.
Just to, I mean, that goes not bad, but give us a little privacy.
Now it's official.
Now it's official.
Okay.
We're officially in the room now that those are closed.
All right. Well, I'm excited. I'm ready to answer questions about myself.
About you. It's all
Because
about you.
This is my favorite thing to do. People hate job interviews. I love them.
Interviews?
Yeah, I can talk about myself all day.
That's
you know?
why
Okay.
I'm such a good person to talk to, because that's all I do is I probe people and I'm like, what makes you tick? And people do.
Mhm.
People love talking about themselves. They just think they don't.
Yeah.
I think most people do,
Yeah.
or they should, because it's fun.
Some people get weirded out though if you like start asking questions. They're like, "What do you want to know that?"
I know.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just a curious being. I want to
Me
know.
too.
I want to know all the things. That's actually what it is.
You
Me
do.
too.
I'm
That's why
just-
we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, it's just an excuse to like learn about people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I'm
we're
ready.
going to
What-
dissect you now. So.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
You
it's me.
had no notes on me,
Nope.
which I'm either insulted by or I'm impressed with. We'll see which way it goes
See how
as
good
we
of
unfold here.
how good of an interviewer I am.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, last time we did this podcast, we had Robert Richard on, and he's famous, and you're not.
Mhm.
So maybe
He had
that's
notes.
He got a lot of notes, or he had
A lot of notes.
Well, because
Yeah.
he has a large resume that I wanted to sort through.
I was kidding.
Mhm.
I was just kidding.
It makes sense
I
though.
was just
I do
kidding.
not have a lot. I don't have you. There's no IMDb page.
Well, that's what happened when Jackie came on. I was like, so do you have? Where can people find you?
Yeah.
Instagram even? And she
She's
was
like,
like,
hiking.
No.
No, she doesn't. She does not have an Instagram.
She was like, I had
page.
someone working on it. I was like, website? I'm working on it. Like,
Someone working on it.
So, no, she was working on it. So,
No.
we basically just illuminated all the things she needed to get done.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Before she can come back.
I've even been trying to get her on business wise, like starting an LLC and like doing stuff for that because
For
you
what?
can easily for like acting, and she wants to get into all this stuff. She's got to be ready for it.
Mm.
This isn't about Jack, you guys. This is Matt Mentele's podcast.
What's up, Matt?
It's great. So what were these questions?
Well,
you
I-
on the top of your head.
Well, we're having a conversation. I'm not going to cut it just to be like, I got a question.
I'm curious about the questions.
The
though. That's
only,
why I showed
mean,
up.
the honest thing that I really, well, we can talk about, you are a manager, a band manager.
Agent. Mhm.
Agent. Oh, is that
Oh, yeah.
technically what it is?
Yeah, she told me about this.
That is technically what it is. Correct.
You're an agent.
Managers like do everything, right?
Yeah.
So you're the one. You're like the fifth member of the band or whatever. If you're a
Mhm.
manager, you
Yeah.
are communicating with the label and PR. You're doing everything. I just have to worry about live shows.
Okay.
So I will.
You're like their booking agent?
Booking agent,
Got it.
exactly. So if there's a live performance, I'm negotiating it, I'm setting it up, etc., and then I take 10% of that fee.
What is the band name?
You have multiple,
All of
right?
them. I've been doing this for
Oh.
15 plus years. I've
wow.
had like a ton of people come through the old door.
Yeah.
Some people
The old door.
have not liked me. Some people I'm still very good friends with today.
You're the most likable
But,
person
yeah.
I've met, like, in LA.
well,
Aw.
in LA. That's sick.
He hasn't traveled
It's
much,
pump-
so
pump
that's
the
all
brakes.
his.
Me?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, no,
Have you?
I've been all over California. Like, you're one of the, like, the night that we met. We met at UCB. We went to an improv show to see Cardinal Redbird, right?
We did.
Immediately, I liked you because you're just nice. I think it's
thank
because
you.
you're from Minnesota.
Well, Wisconsin, exactly.
Oh,
it's
Wisconsin.
like I know, same
Sorry.
place.
Same place.
Close.
Really,
Same place.
same place.
Yeah, same place.
So, I mean, yeah, I want to bring my Midwest niceness to Los Angeles. I think it could really use it, and people respond well to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird that when you're nice to people,
I know.
they like it.
But in LA, it's crazy. I'll walk into a cafe and I'll say, "Hello, how are you?" to the barista or whatever. They'll be like, "Oh, good."
I know. I get that.
Wow.
People think I'm from the Midwest because I'm nice, or at least I can hold a conversation. And then as a server the other day, I was like, I chit chat with my tables and like give them a hard time and stuff and like joke around. And they were like, "You are the best server we've had in LA." And I was like, "Oh God, that bar must be so low."
Yeah.
Well, it's the pretentiousness factor, right?
Yeah.
It's like people here, you need to have a big ego to move here in a way, right? And be like, I got something. I want to be an actor. I'm hot. I'm a model or something. So you do need that level. A lot of people lose humanity through that, though.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the danger of moving here.
Well, I moved here from like 50 miles away. She moved here from the other side of the United States.
Right.
And then you moved here.
We're from all in East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
People are kind of nice.
Yeah. I mean,
there is humanity there, but
for sure.
There is a get to the point factor in the East Coast that I've noticed.
Like in a conversation?
Yeah.
Like, hurry up.
Well, that's like traffic. People are like on the move, They got places to be, people to see.
I mean, that's like how it is here, though, too.
It's a little worse over there. Like, it's more like suit and tie straight up. And here it's more like, you can be in a hurry, but you're also in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So it's like more
because it's California. Exactly.
It's California.
It's
really hot outside.
Yeah.
And then you got two people in line ahead of you who are big hippies. I guess there's just more hippies here. That slows everything down. And you just got to be like, well.
Like me.
I guess do you consider yourself a hippie?
I think, like, internally, I think I'm a hippie, but I don't think I like people see me as a hippie.
Okay.
Like I was just saying, like, I believe in just, like, trying to just be nice to everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like if you're nice to people nice to be nice back to you, but it doesn't always work that way.
Right.
Especially in LA.
Well, absolutely, but you're at least putting your best foot forward. We were talking about this on Saturday nights. It's a form, being nice while schmoozing is like, to me, the best form of schmoozing with people. Because you're just being real with them. You're just asking questions, networking and stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are like, "Hey, I'm Jim James and I sell pipes," and like they really get in there and they want you to.
It's more like they're so focused on what they are selling, they're not looking at who you are. They're not trying to make a connection with you.
And hopefully, if you're nice to somebody who is important, and you're just polite to them and you talk to them like a human being, that they do think down the line, "Oh, that Matt guy was pretty nice to me. I want one of his bands." That's what we were talking about. I've been doing this for so long that my attitude, even in the music industry, is always defaulted to just be nice to this guy.
Were you ever like kind of
a
dick at all at any point in your life? Like, were you ever
a million times? I'm a booking agent.
Like what I mean?
I have to be a dick a lot.
So I mean, having to be a hard ass and a dick is two different things. So what I mean is like when I noticed like somewhere like when I was like 20. I'm 27 now, but somewhere when I was like maybe 19, 20, 21, I was just like kind of like not cocky, but just kind of like I didn't ever give people a chance. I didn't really like to like talk to people. I just didn't give a shit. Like I judged people immediately based on looks and stuff like that. And then eventually I always found out that I was wrong every single time.
Sure.
About whoever it was.
Yeah.
And then, started smoking a little bit of weed, and then I just opened my mind to like, you know what? What? Why don't I just like be nice to everyone, see what happens?
Right.
And then I just slowly became that person where I'm just like always trying to be nice to anyone, no matter what it is, whoever it is. And then if they're a dick back, then you're going to get a dick
and
in
you
me.
can go, okay, now I get to write you off.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
exactly. You're like, you didn't respond to my positive vibes. You obviously have something going on behind the scenes. Yes.
Yeah. But
I mean, I've been a jerk. Oh my God. I mean, we could call plenty of people I've been a jerk to. I'm not perfect. I try my best, and I try to put my best foot forward, but it doesn't always work out.
How long have you been in LA?
Since January
of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow! So are you newer than Jackie?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Well, I moved out. I had a breakup in late 2016.
Okay. Same.
It was like I'm not gonna hang out in Chicago during this time frame over the fucking winter time and this. So I was like, I'm going to LA. So I put together just a place to stay in a month. And I was out here last winter for 4 months.
2017 winter?
2017 winter. I skipped the winter and I was in LA. Moved back to Chicago and was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. I kept thinking about LA. It was like, you know, when you date a girl for a little while and you let her go and you're like, that girl was pretty cool, actually.
Like, it's been a few months. I still haven't ran into anyone like her.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, this is LA. So I came out and visited, like, in the fall, and I was like, I'm coming back.
She's a good one.
This was dumb. And, like, I love Chicago and whatnots, but this is so pretty. Like, this is awesome right here.
Yeah, it's a great view. People
There's
can't
so
see
many
it,
little
but
moments.
There's an amazing view. Right?
Sorry, guys.
They can see it out that window. The
You
tree.
can see my
see a
face
tree.
looking at it like...
Just read his face.
He's looking at bushes, but beyond those bushes is the Hollywood
there's
sign.
pretty flowers. Yeah. You know, I'm sure they smell good. There's like these flowers right outside my apartment. I leave them every day, and I smell them, and I go, L.A. So when that leaves me...
You know what, man? It's so peaceful right here in this little area.
Hollywood, yeah.
It's, well, not Hollywood. I mean, I'm talking
above Hollywood.
I'm talking about like Franklin, like Franklin, and then north of Franklin, right? So like Los
Franklin
Feliz
is above all the hustle and bustle.
It's right above it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel
it's
like
the
this
perfect little.
We're above
corridor.
it, looking down.
I love it. Yeah.
We're looking down.
We're looking down
bullshit.
on Hollywood Boulevard and Sunset.
Well, just like the hills are looking down upon us.
Yeah.
What's the first question, Betsy?
I already asked it. We just had a whole.
Oh, you did?
12.
What was it?
It was about you being a bandman
Oh,
agent.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Nice.
I'm good at this shit.
Well, now that you did, you slipped it in there. I didn't even know it.
Oh, it's not gonna be yes or no questions. That's not good interview
yeah.
tactics.
We're not really. We're more so
Fire off 20 yes or no.
We're more so
it's
just getting to know you rather than just like now we're gonna ask you this. Now we're gonna
I'm
ask you
here.
this.
Those interviews are no fun. I was watching a lot of
What is this? Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah, like where they ask a question and the person answers, and then the interview goes, "Okay, next question." It's like, what? Are you even engaging with the person you're talking to?
We're just chilling, man.
I'm fascinated what you're going to ask me. That's all. That's why I keep bringing it up.
I kind of am too.
Why me? What do you mean?
Well, because we're in a podcast forum, and there's so much about my life that's fucking rocks.
Wait, how? If you don't mind me asking,
Go ahead.
How old are you?
37.
No.
I turned
Did I ask
37
you that
in
before?
April. I have no idea.
Dude.
I mean, people ask me that from time to time, but
37?
no.
No way.
I know.
Have you ever seen Despicable Me?
Yeah.
You which one?
Oh, you think I look like one of those cartoon characters?
I think you look
Let's
like.
cut this out of the podcast.
No, people are gonna agree with me. You look like the fucking bad guy from Despicable Me.
Right.
Not Gru, or whatever his name is.
Which one?
His arch nemesis that's played by Jason Segel. If you have an orange jumpsuit on, that's him.
I don't own an orange jumpsuit.
You should get one.
You
and be
look like a
Halloween.
fucking minion.
That's not even an insult.
I know. They're pretty cute, actually. After I said it, I realized it was the wrong move. Whatever. Fine, I look like that. What's the next question? Was that your second question? Or statement?
No. I was going to say, do you want to talk about the breakup at all?
What do you want to
About it?
I'll talk about it. I just won't talk about her.
I'm more curious about so you dated a Swedish woman, and you lived in Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how long? Where? What time? I mean, what year?
All the questions.
What year?
time? From about noon to 1 o'clock.
No, like what year?
What time?
What year? Like what time frame are we talking here? You're 37. I thought you were 28.
It was like it was the last 4 years. So literally, the breakup happened 4 days after the Trump one.
Oh.
Wow.
And so I was like,
so you really hate
I'm
Trump.
leaving, dude. This doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Psych. I'm stuck here with you assholes. So so that was late 2016, right? So like the last week of November or whatever. So I was out there intermittently for 4 years. We were together for 4 years. So I would spend, because I can work from anywhere, I could just spend a couple months there, whatever. So I'd go out there, she'd come to the States, blah, blah, blah. So I was out there a lot, and she lived in Stockholm.
Is that what led to the breakup? Is the long distance and going back and forth and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had to wait. There was a year. It took a year to do all the paperwork for me to live there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oosh, this is not going to be good. Like, waiting a year on fucking Swedish bureaucracy is going to be a big strain. And I was 100% right. She's built it up in her mind, freaked out, and whatever. But like I was saying, we were talking about this on Saturday. There's so many positive things that came out of this experience. I use a lot of it in the stand-up that I'm doing right now. All the things I noticed about America, the differences in having...
That was my next question, was talk about the differences between America and Sweden.
Oh my God.
Because they see us like, what you were telling me that their like emotional levels are just like, it's just a baseline, like they don't really go up or down.
They are taught
as fuck there or what?
Since, yes. To a fault.
Dude, I would love to live there.
No, dude, it'd probably be boring after a while.
Well, that's the
thing. But I'm so calm that it's like, dude, living here is just like
visit. I'd say visit first.
Yeah.
And then see what you think about it. The men and women there are gorgeous-io. They're all beautiful. They are all like tiny little... you don't know if it's a boy or a man when they're little children. They're just like these blonde, little perfect-looking people, and then they grow hair, boobs, and whatever else. But they just come out perfectly formed, all of them. So Hitler really liked this country, and they never get involved with wars. They're very fucking... Oops, sorry. They're very calm, almost to a fault. So it was like... There was a frustrating factor, especially if you're dating one of them, to like try to pull out some emotion from there, because they're taught since the beginning, like, no, like, don't get too excited and don't get too low. Like, just, they have a saying in Swedish that I don't know, I didn't memorize it, but it is like, stay in the middle, just always go for the middle thing. And so that's good. There's a lot of good stuff about it and a lot of bad stuff about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was it? They would, you did an impression. It was
my impression of a Swedish person is, ask me how my day was in LA. Let's say I'm a Swedish person. I'm visiting from LA.
How did you like LA? Was it fun?
It was amazing. We went down to the beach and it was so much fun. It was the greatest day I've ever had in my life.
And that's them being
really
honest.
Yes, exactly.
Genuinely the greatest day, but that's as excited.
That's as excited as they get. They're like, it was my birthday last week. We went out swimming all day. It was so fun.
Is there a lot of
love everyone.
Is there a lot of drug usage in Sweden?
Not really. Weed is like a big, big, big no-no there. You actually get in a lot of trouble for it.
What?
Yeah.
Why? Because it'll make you act out or something?
Well,
kind of like China.
Here's the other thing about them. They love rules. This is why this fucking application took so goddamn long.
Oh.
And so it's like, well, these are the rules. Fill this out and then do this. They love bureaucracy.
Interesting.
And like they love everything being organized and everything to be, this is this. So, I mean, it's a detriment to some things, but it's like, okay, well, they have their shit together. At least you can't say Swedish people don't have their shit together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At the least.
But it's interesting because, like, comedy it probably doesn't really work over there.
It does not. They don't like sarcasm. And
that's what you were saying.
They did not think I was very funny.
They wouldn't think I'm funny either.
They don't like sarcasm, and they don't get hyperbole. So I would be like, oh my God, I drank like 5 cups of coffee this morning. They'd be like, 5 cups of coffee? That is a lot of coffee.
And you're like, no.
And you're like, no, that was a joke or whatever. Never mind.
I'm exaggerating.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
It's kind of weird. Their sense of... They laugh a lot when they get together with family. Like, it's fine, and they laugh a lot, and they tell jokes, and it's very fun. But specifically sarcasm...
Mm-hmm.
Am I on the shot?
Yeah, no, it was just like a lot of headspace. Sorry.
All right. Whatever. Does that answer your question, I think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an interesting thing to talk about.
Well, you asked what the difference is, and there's a billion of them.
Right.
But the little ones are the ones that I am the most like, this is interesting. Mm-hmm. So in certain pockets of neighborhoods, you pay for trash you throw out. and that encourages recycling. So it's like her parents live in this awesome place where they pay for how much trash is taken away. So they recycle almost everything. Compost, like they have it all figured out. And it's like, that's a pretty nice thing. Yeah. But if we instituted that here, it's more of the attitude of people. Because there it's like, let's all do this, you guys. Yay. We can do this together.
Yeah.
And here, if we had a tax on trash, people are like, fuck you, I'm throwing it on my fucking lawn.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Like my neighbor does anyway.
100%.
It's super, America is just me first.
It is. America first. Trump is literally saying that as his thing, and it's terrifying to me.
I wouldn't say America. I mean, kinda, but like really in LA, that's kind of how it is in LA.
Oh, it's like, there being a Midwest, but
me first.
Wisconsin is the same way.
Yeah,
it's everywhere. Well, our neighbor would literally pack up. If they had this tax, they would pack up the trash, go down the street, and just fucking throw it out on the side of the road. Because they don't care about society.
Yeah.
You guys got that? America sucks! That's Matt Mentele! No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying they have a lot of good ideas, though, and we don't listen here. We're not even, our ears aren't even open to be like, this is a pretty good idea, because people are just like, fuck you, that's not a good idea.
No, people don't fucking listen, and you find that out when you work in, at least where we work, in the service industry. You go up to a table and be like, hi, can I get you another beer? And they go, no, can I get another beer? And you're like, what the fuck did I just say to you? What did you think came out of my mouth just now?
Okay, so let me ask you something.
What?
Since you're a girl, you might not have to deal with this, but do you ever, like, go up to a table and, like, maybe another server has already gone to that table and asked them if they need anything, but then you go up and it's your table?
Yeah.
And then, like, they totally treat you like shit, or, like, they just, like, ignore and neglect the fact that you're even trying to help them?
I've never been, I've been ignored. Sometimes you walk up to a table and it takes them, like, 5 minutes to shut the fuck up and notice your presence, and you're like, hi, you came into a restaurant, can I do my job?
Yeah.
Like,
so there's this ongoing
she'll wait
thing
here while our conversation is done.
It's like people that have business meetings in restaurants, go fuck yourself. Go
100%.
to a bar, go to a coffee shop. Do not go somewhere where I have
America.
to interrupt you
people.
constantly. I have to. You're getting mad at me, but this is what I'm here for.
So there's this constant thing that keeps happening in my work where we have, like, sometimes it's the regulars, sometimes it's just random people. I work at a golf club, right?
Oh, okay.
So sometimes it's random people, sometimes it's regulars. I'll be the server. I come in at a certain time. Now any table that sits down is now mine, right? So sometimes maybe I don't see them sit down right away, or maybe I'm doing something, and then the other server, who is a woman, will go over, and, hey, do you guys need anything? Here's some menus, right? Then she comes back, she says, hey, that table is set down. You want to take them? Yeah, sure. I go over. They treat me like shit, because I don't have tits.
That might just be a dude
Do
thing.
you have any idea how fucking annoying this is?
No, I don't.
You don't have to deal with that in any facet? I thought maybe because there's, like,
typically when a pretty girl walks up to the table, people are like, this is a nice treat.
Yes,
Thank you
of
for
course.
gracing us with your presence.
And then my asshole walks up.
And they're like, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of here.
We got the guy.
No, I mean, sometimes, anytime that happens, people are like, oh, they already took our order. I'm like, oh, my bad. Like, I don't ever really get, like, shoo.
So you think you get too from it?
I get shooed a lot.
Yeah.
It's annoying. And then, like, the server will, like, come to me and be like, why didn't you take the table? I'm like, I just asked them if they needed anything. They said no. They're like,
Now that you mentioned it, I would rather have a pretty girl sitting here.
You have one across from you.
I know, but now, whenever you talk, I gotta turn. Yeah,
what's your problem, man?
1.5.
Oh.
JK, it's fine.
It's nice.
No.
Let's talk about stand-up. That's the...
Yeah, I was curious. How long have you been doing stand-up, and what made you want to get into that?
Well,
2 months, really?
It's very new.
It basically stemmed from this breakup. So last year, I was all sad. I was just sad. And I was just going out.
I think he was sadder than you were, so you should relax.
Really? Because I lost... brother, my best friend, my girlfriend.
I meant sadder about the breakup. You had other things going on.
Not a competition. And I got to a point where I was like, okay, I gotta do stuff. I gotta put this somewhere. I can't just, like, wallow in it. And I deal with stuff through being funny and making jokes about it. And I actually have a semi-routine about it because I am jealous of, like, my artist friends who get to write a song about this stuff and, like, put it somewhere. I don't have anywhere to put this stuff other than my own brain, which is not a good place to fucking wallow in it.
No.
So it was like, I gotta start and again, I don't rip on her. I don't rip on the relationship. I make no jokes about anything that we did wrong. She's actually kind of a private person, so I wouldn't even want to go there. And it's usually not funny when somebody does that. And they're like, "My stupid bitch ex" or whatever. You're like, well, maybe if you didn't say stupid bitch, she won't be your ex.
Yeah,
buddy.
But a few months ago, you were head over heels, but now she's a stupid bitch.
Well,
no.
No. Not that you have said that. But that's how a lot of people
this dumb stand-up that I just made. Exactly. Yeah. Like he or she is just fucking up the routine. So for me, it was more like I want to like just put this energy into somewhere. That's really what it is. It's like all this extra energy I was using to like go out and drink and go dancing and like just be like, fuck life or whatever. Be like, okay, let's hone it into something positive and fun. Mm-hmm. And so I made a list in late last year of like stuff I wanted to do. It was like little stuff from like just go to the gym 4 times a week to try improv, try stand-up, try all this kind of stuff. So when I moved to Franklin Village, I was right by the UCB Theater. I was like, well, sign up for
Had you ever
improv
seen
classes
improv
on the
before?
list here. Yes, I've been a fan of comedy for a long time. It's been one of my loves. I love any live event. I mean, that's why I'm here in the music business right now. I loved going to live shows. I loved seeing a live band. I loved having that connection with the audience, singing along or dancing or being like, yo, did you see them last week? They were fucking awesome. You know, like just that camaraderie that comes along with seeing live music. That camaraderie is dead. People do not pay attention at music concerts anymore.
Yeah.
No,
and it fucking annoys me, and I almost, to this point, don't even like going most of the time, because people are just like, they're not singing along to the song, they're not dancing, they're not enjoying it.
They're not even at the concert.
Yeah.
There's a new thing that's going on where a lot of artists are having like this, it's called something, it's like something that venues will implement. But basically, you like surrender your phone at the beginning.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's a new thing.
That's super positive.
That Jack White's doing it.
Yeah.
That's up to the artist. Because the promoters do not want to do that because that costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
It also bothers too many people.
Yeah,
probably.
I'm going to see Childish Gambino in September, and he had like they're doing that there.
Okay,
That's
sweet,
awesome.
sweet.
Yeah. And comedy shows are doing that now too. Bill Burr does that. Rogan does it.
For stand-up, yeah,
Cool.
totally.
Yeah.
Chappelle does it, especially.
Right.
Yeah. Big names do that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
To bring, comedy, I think it's more like, don't record us because we don't want this stuff up yet. Music
but
is...
also, just sit the fuck down and enjoy what's happening
and watch what's happening. Exactly.
In 2011,
in
2010 or 2011, I was in a band myself. I was in 2 bands. And we played a show at the Whiskey A Go Go. There was, it was mainly my family there. But there was a few other people there that, like, were friends of, like, my band members and stuff, right? And they were just fucking sitting on their phone. And I was like, dude, can you fucking do something other than sit there and, like, stare at your phone? You know? And this is, like, before, like, there was really social media or anything. They were just on their fucking phone. It's super annoying.
Well, I'm starting to read a book on our addiction to technology.
Oh.
So I am really
I don't want
getting
to talk
into
about
this.
While
we're doing this and we're on a podcast?
It's just boring to me at this point.
Really? Why?
Because it's a discussion everybody knows. We'd be rehashing something we've already talked about. I want to talk about something that I don't get to talk about all the time, which is you and doing stand-up.
That's
I don't want to talk about technology taking over.
100% we can talk about that. So to relate it back to what we were talking about... That's why I love improv, because no one's on their phones, and you do need to pay attention. And so, like, this excitement that I used to have going to concerts, I started to feel again by going to these improv shows. Because it was like, okay, the audience is engaged. We're watching this. We're never going to see this show ever again. This is like a one-time performance. So how are these people going to entertain me? And we've seen bad improv shows. and we have seen good improv shows. And it's like, you just never know where you're going to get, and that's the exciting part to me. And same with stand-up as
when
well.
we saw Cardinal Redbrick the other day, the first thing I said when we got out was like, dude, I have so many questions.
Yeah.
Right? Because I
thought we have answers. We are improvisers.
Because I thought that show was really good, and you're like, it was good, but there's been better ones. And I was like, really? Like, that was fucking amazing. That was hilarious. Like, how they just, like, did their thing. Like, explain improv for people who have no idea.
No nervous, like, 1 second of, like, what are we going to do now?
I would love to see a really bad improv show just so I can get perspective.
Oh, fair. There's plenty of those.
But I'm sure there is.
Go to a 101 student show.
But just
go to 2 201 shows.
But just so people know, like, what improv is, maybe give, like, an explanation of, like, what it is. Or, like, I mean, because people have a broad idea of it. I had a broad idea of what it is.
Well,
but when you
especially
actually do
UCB is a specific one, because it's like all these different schools teach different things.
So it's like
what is UCB?
Groundlings,
long form.
Yeah.
Well, explain UCB, because if you say UCB, when people told me UCB, I thought it was a fucking college. Because there is a college named CBU.
Right.
And that's,
Upright Citizens Brigade Theater is a long form teachings.
Mm-hmm.
And so you are really putting an emphasis on the game, they call it.
The game is
funny
the
part
funny
of the
factor that you play up as much as you can. So it's like, for example, in Step Brothers, the movie is just these two men. They basically, why that movie works is because they treat them like they're children. They treat these older men like they're children. Like the things they get into, they get disciplined like children. They get grounded. They get all of these things that would normally go on little kids, but they're both 40. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they're both 40, that's the only weird thing in like the entire movie. That's the basic of UCB is what is the weird thing? How can we like blow it up?
What situations can we put this weird person in?
To emphasize the weirdness.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And like we can do that with SNL sketches, I'm sure, recurring characters. I mean, it's like, so that idea of, but when you're doing it in improv, you're trying to find that on the spot, and that's kind of the exciting part of it, I think.
Yeah.
And also UCB likes to emphasize to keep it as grounded and as real as possible so that the weird thing pops more. Because if there's a lot of weird stuff going on, it's hard to decipher where the jokes are, because you're like, well, that was weird too, so am I supposed to laugh at that?
I mean, this happened many times watching the 201 show yesterday, I always felt like, isn't anybody going to say, like, this is fucking insane what this person's doing? Because then you're frustrated as an audience member. You're just like, oh my God, everybody's just acting like weirdos up there, and I don't know what's going on. Can I say specific things?
Specific scenes? Well, I graduated, right? From UCB.
201.
Yeah.
Not from
so
UCB.
We're fucking huge experts.
No, actually, I realized in my scene, we didn't ground it anywhere. But I realized that afterwards. I was like, okay, so I thought she was going to play it differently, honestly. What the fuck are you doing?
Dropping shit.
So in my scene,
I thought that one.
Somebody had done a monologue. Jackie did a monologue where she said, we didn't have Nutella at home. Yeah. We made this thing out of cocoa powder and butter, like when we were kids. And I was like, she just told us that Nutella was a fancy thing to have in the house.
Right.
And I was like, that's kind of silly. So I had this idea of like, oh, we don't have fancy things, but we do have caviar. So it's like thinking that like trashy food is better than like really fancy stuff. And
you assumed she was going to be
I assumed she was going to do that, but then she was like, oh,
no,
you only have caviar, and I was like, fuck, now we have to go even bigger.
Anyways. Right.
So then we never justified why she needed the best of everything and why nothing was ever good enough for her, but it worked because we just kept playing it, and at the end, that was such a good cut. That guy Sanchez, I was like, what do I need to do to make you happy? I bought all the islands, I bought all the helicopters, I bought everything, what do you need? And she was like, I need everything, and he just goes, cut to everything. And I was like, it's all here, are you happy? And she's like, no, and it just like ended it, and I was like, that was a pretty successful scene. Yeah, people laughed.
And so that's the tough part about it too. It's like you are in a school where a teacher is being like all this stuff, but you are trying to be up there just being funny. Mm-hmm. So it's, as long as you kind of keep that in mind, I kind of got caught up with the inside baseball stuff a little too much. But at the end of the day, you're just trying to be funny. There was the scene where they were going to kill their child. Yeah. Like the kid was down with it. They were like, "Oh, cool, yeah, tie me up or whatever." And I'm like, someone needs to come in here and been right. So you do have to have that audience perspective. It's the same. The Office. You know, Jim's the audience. He's speaking for us. He's saying like, "Michael, you're being stupid." Like he's us, so that we can have somebody in the show, so it's not just Michael being a fucking crazy person. Everybody being like, "Yeah, no, this is cool. This is normal." Because then you're just
because it's
watching
funnier
nonsense.
when everybody is you in the normal world going, "Look at these shenanigans. These are shenanigans." But if they didn't address it, you'd be like, "Well, now everything's a shenanigan, and I don't care anymore."
Right. So that's in general what it is. But your original cue, was mostly the stand-up, right?
Yeah.
See, stand-up's tough. Man,
what are you talking about? What cue? The question?
Yeah, the cue, dude.
The question.
I just try to roll this along by shortening words.
Are you trying to get out of here? You got some place to be?
I do. Well, I actually have, work and a life and et cetera, et cetera.
Boo.
But I'm here for the people. What time is it? And we got somebody else coming, right?
Relax. We're not going to shove you out.
I have a lot of things to say, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, because we usually do this for about 3 hours.
Well, I'm not going to get 3 hours because you got somebody else in. But, Jackie went 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
She sure did.
Okay. So, what was the cue about stand-up again?
Can you
I forgot what it was.
Just because you fucked it up.
Dude, yeah, what? I got to get some product for my hair, actually.
You should work on that.
What?
I don't know, getting product for your hair.
I know, because it's not swooping all the way over, right?
I feel like your hairstyle fits you very well.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
No, it does.
Should I keep fixing my hair, Betsy?
No, it looks nice. Stop staring at our camera.
Okay, fine. Don't look at the camera. Look at the camera. I don't know what to do with it.
So, okay.
Next cue, dude.
Here's what... So, you and I met in 101 Improv. And you went out of your way to be... Well, you invited me to Cardinal Redbird. That was like the first hangout outside of class, right?
Cool. Okay.
And do you remember what you said that first time we hung out?
A lot of things. But I don't remember what you're talking about.
Well, okay, so we went to Birds, which is right next to the theater.
Yes.
And we were sitting there, and you hadn't decided whether you really wanted to dive into... You were kind of like, is comedy a thing?
I was like 5 weeks in, yeah.
Yeah. And so
now
you were
I'm 12 weeks in.
somehow looking at me like I was an expert, and...
But you also like being in that position, though.
Oh.
You've said this before. So, I mean...
But it was interesting that we didn't know each other, and you were just, like, coming to me to seek advice, and I was just
Did she seem like a stand-up comic to you when you first met her?
No.
Really? Because I thought right away...
I guess I don't think of things in that terms. She was in my improv class, so I just...
Okay. Well, I have a question.
Assumed it was like improv.
So stand-up's something that a lot of people want. A lot of people that are doing stand-up, right?
Yeah.
They, like myself, right? There was like this long... like you think about it for a really long time, and then you finally say, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna do it."
Okay.
Right? I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna move to LA or do it wherever you are, right? Like what? Since you're a band manager, and you were like in a relationship for a long time, and like you got into improv and stuff, and I know you said that you were trying to turn your sadness into like happiness, sort of by like comedy.
Sure.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like you weren't afraid of the stage at all, because that's usually a huge factor for people that want to get into stand-up.
Good question.
Well, I'm not. I guess that's the thing. I'm really not afraid. I've never been afraid of public speaking. It's been something I actually crave it a little bit. And so things like I hosted pub trivia in Chicago for like years and years and years.
What is that?
Pub trivia,
like a trivia night. So I'm like, who was the first president of the United States or whatever it was?
Yeah.
And in college, I gave college tours. So I've always been comfortable kind of like leading a group or whatever. Yeah. It hasn't been a problem for me. But that doesn't mean I don't get nervous. And that's, yes, my first goal in doing this Because I went to a bunch of open mics just to scout it out, see what people are doing wrong.
Same.
Get the feel for it. And the number one thing is body language. It really is. When somebody gets up there and they're like standing like this and telling their jokes in a way, well, like, not even really still, but just like confidently with shoulders
feels
back.
Feels like they want to be on the stage.
Exactly. So many people get up there, heads down, pacing. I did it a couple times.
Everybody does.
You're like up there and you have all this energy. You don't know what to do with it. And you're just like pacing back and forth and being like, Meh! And like
hoping something sticks.
Yeah, exactly. And the audience is nervous for you. And you don't want the audience to be nervous for you. You want them to be rooting for you.
So you have to command the audience in a way.
Yes.
With body language.
Right.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, that's what I'm really into is commanding an audience. That's why it appeals to me anyway.
I feel like if you ever do stand up, I think you really should because I think you'd be great at it. But I think that if you ever do, like the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to get up there, you're going to take that mic out, because when you go do stand up, right, it's like 101, right? Take the mic out, move the mic stand behind you, right? Just so that people know, like, I'm in fucking control. I have this stage right now, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like you're going to go up there, do that, and then turn around and just be like, fuck. Like, for your first time, like, you're going to walk up there. Like, I've seen so many people on Kill Tony especially, or open mics, right? Just walk up, they have all the confidence in the world, and their body language, drains. And then they're like, anyway, and then they just like
kill it.
Like you just like draw blank. That was like what happened to me. Like the second time that I ever did it, I just like walked up there. I like in my head, I'm like have confidence, and then I was just like, oh, what was I going to talk about again?
Yeah, because the thing that happens to me is as soon as you realize, oh, these people are waiting for me to say something, you go, what was I going to say? Instead of like
you start losing.
It's very similar, I think, to acting. Which is, as soon as you start thinking about where you are and what's happening, what you have to do next, instead of, like, the intention that you go into the scene with, because that's what acting is. You go into a scene to do something every single time. You have an objective. And it could be something mundane, like doing laundry, but you do have an objective to finish a task, because all through life, that's all we're doing is doing a task. Or else you're just not doing anything, and then you're like in the ether. But if you go up on stage and you have something to say, you got to focus on what you want to convey to these people. So whatever your bit is or whatever the stories you want to tell, you go, I'm getting on the stage and I'm telling these stories instead of I'm going to go up there and talk to strangers. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like if you put a better intention in front of you, it probably will get you'll get to it. You'll get to your intention faster instead of getting stuck and nervous. Yeah. That's what I would assume.
I think that just comes with reps, though, too. I mean, it's 100%. Like you're right, because I've done that too. That was my improv show as well, the class show on Friday. I was feeling fine. I was feeling good. I was actually pretty confident about what I learned in class. It was a 201 show, so it was like who gives a fucking shit? Like, there's 10 people here or whatever. And then you're out on stage and you get the little barely shakes up there, and you're like, oh my god, the lights are on. I don't know these people.
I'm
on stage, and exactly all of my heroes. And so it's like, okay, and then you get in your head a little bit. So I think that it's just more. The more you do it, and the more, because I mean, I asked Jackie, who had a show yesterday, did you get nervous? Of course she didn't get nervous. She's done this a billion times.
Jackie's been doing improv for years.
Yeah, so it's like...
She did Growling, she did Second City, she did Second City, she was in Chicago. Yeah, she's done it for a while. So yeah, she's just like, I'm just going to go up and do it or whatever.
Exactly.
Improv must be different than stand-up then. Either that or she's lying, because stand-up, like, no matter what, even the biggest people always say, like, if you're not nervous, then you're a fool of yourself.
There's nervousness, and then there is, like...
Excited.
Right. Yes, you will always have it in some way, and I'm sure she felt that as well, but it definitely doesn't come through.
No.
You know what I mean? And it's like one of those things
you get better at dealing with it.
Right. Yeah. Compartmentalizing what that feeling is.
Because yesterday, before I went up on stage, like, as soon as I step on a stage, I get excited, which is... So we watched How Did This Get Made? Mm-hmm. You know that? Have you heard of that podcast?
No, but I saw you post about it. What is
it? Jason Mantzoukas and Paul Scheer and his wife,
June Diane Raphael.
They do a podcast called How Did This Get Made, where they rip apart bad movies, basically. And it's super entertaining, but we're sitting in the crowd, and I was like, What did I say? I said I felt like I was in line for a roller coaster where you're like, oh, I can't wait till I'm up there. And he was saying, well, he was just enjoying the show as an audience member. But me, I can't wait to get on that stage and talk to people and make jokes and like be the center of attention. So yeah, as soon as I stepped on the stage yesterday, my adrenaline starts pumping, and it's not so much nervousness as it is excitedness.
I get like that same way at Kill Tony.
Oh,
I don't know if you've noticed, but every single time we go, I usually disappear at the end of the show because I'm just like, fuck, dude, like I just want to go up, you know, and then I like go stand outside and like smoke or do something.
I thought you were taking a shit.
Yeah, last time I was. Well, that show's usually never goes past 10 o'clock, and that night the Super Trooper, the
two of the actors from Super Troopers
were on, so I think they just had an extended thing. But like towards the end of it, I was just like, God damn it! Here's another fucking Kill Tony where I did not get up, and not that I put my name in the bucket that time, but like,
but that's
still,
the thing. You have to break through that initial. I mean, that was the thing too. I was really shy at first. I didn't know if I wanted to do it. I didn't, and now it's like, get me on stage. You have once you break that, and you get. Like, I want to be up there.
It sort of changes your life because once you start doing it, if you enjoy doing it, you're going to fall in love with it, and then it's just always in the back of your head.
Yeah.
Sure.
When do I get to do that again?
Well, it's just like, God, I need to write bits so that when I do get to do it, like I can kill, and then I can go back and keep going.
I guess it hasn't, that feeling hasn't reached me yet because these open mics
please tell us about the open mics, please. Because there are people who think that Kill Tony is like a traditional open mic, and it's not.
No.
Kill Tony is a show.
I haven't been there yet.
You do not know.
Can't attest
comment on it.
Yeah.
Well,
so tell us what open mics you have.
Tell us what open mics really look like.
Well, the disappointing part is when I go to Upright Citizens Brigade Theater, people are talking. The energy is so nice there and communal and like by nature, improv, you need the other person. You need multiple people to have a good show. And in stand-up, it's like this lone wolf attitude that people have where the vibe is really weird before the open mic and everybody's got like notebooks. It's like, are you Jerry Seinfeld? You've been doing this for 30 years? You have this big notebook? What the fuck are you going to talk about? We have 3 minutes and you have a booklet of notes?
Yeah,
like what the fuck is happening with your life? 3 minutes should be simple for you. So everybody's just sitting and like doodling in their thingamabob. And so I get there and I'm trying to talk to people. I'm like trying to be like, hey, let's fucking be friends. We're all going to, talk about our ding-dongs and the JJs for 3 minutes at a piece. So we might as well have fun here. And it's just the lone dog thing about it. I went to this one podcast or one open mic.
Okay.
Should I say which one it is? Or, I mean, we don't want to, like, piss people off, but these hosts suck. So, it was 5 people signed up for this open mic.
Yeah, don't say it. We don't want
and
to.
And you got 5 minutes each person.
Okay. 5 minutes, that's a lot.
5 minutes is good. And so that's why I went, because I was like, I got a lot of things to say, you guys. 3 minutes is like, you want more of Matt Mentele on that stage. 3 is too less of a time.
Got it.
For me to really come in with my fucking good stuff.
So really quick though, when you go on stage, do you have like, because stand up is very like, there's first of all, there's a lot of people that want to try it, right? So there's like certain types of people that are like Jerry Seinfeld or something like that, where they have like set up punchline, set up punchline, set up punchline. And then there's people that like try to tell a story. And then there's people that like are just talking about their fucking day. So what would you?
Those are the not good ones.
Yeah. So what are you categorizing yourself as? Because
you're a storyteller.
Because I'm curious now.
I have stories, but we were talking about what mistakes I learned just from going and observing.
Yeah.
Mistake number 2: jokes should have punchlines.
Tags,
it's kind of the fucking point of telling a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Or at least a word that people laugh at.
Yes,
like
some sort of end.
Laugh.
Right, some sort of end game of your, like you were saying, ranting about your day. You can't just be like, oh, I was in line today and like this little dog just came up and I was like, get away from me, little dog. It was just weird.
I've literally heard someone use that same, and not even kidding, at one of the open mics.
And we're just sitting there as an audience like, okay.
What was the point?
What is the point of you? Get off the stage! So it's frustrating to go to these But my point about the camaraderie thing was, so, there's 5 people, 5 minutes each. So it's 25 minutes this open mic is going to take, maximum.
Yeah.
We can all get in and out of there 25 minutes, no problemo. There's 2 hosts, so there's 7 people there total. So the first girl goes on, blah, 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 whatever.
Blah, 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 my vagina smells like tuna.
Just leaves. And it's like, I just listened to you for 5 minutes. You can't wait. Just wait 20 minutes for the rest of us to go. There's such this egotistical thing in stand-up where it's like, I'm leaving. I get it. If it's a 3-hour thing, I get leaving early or whatever. This is like fucking 2 seconds. Is that your phone going off, dude?
It sure is.
How dare you?
You want to answer it?
Nope. It was a YouTube video.
Believe you left your sound on for our podcast. That's so
I didn't. I had a YouTube video going. System of a Down. All right, let's continue.
So the camaraderie is what's disappointing to me. People just leaving. So the next guy goes on, he leaves. We're down to fucking 5 people in this motherfucking thing, including me and these 2 hosts or whatever. So I finally go on as the 4th person.
You're performing for
There's
3
2
people.
hosts in the back. They're talking during my set, which is why I don't give a fuck about these people or I'm never going to go. They're in the back talking, and I'm performing to just 2 dudes. One of them's waiting to go on. One of them just went on. And I'm like, hey, I lived in Sweden or whatever. And it's just 2 guys like, it's like, oh, yay, I'm getting so much out of this. So it's frustrating because I don't ever feel like I've done stand-up in front of people who've been like, other than the first time I ever did it, it's always just been I'm performing for these other comics who are 20% listening to me.
Yeah.
Well,
and so it's like, I don't even know if any of my stuff is any good at all because I don't think it's been tested in front of enough people. Mm-hmm. But the encouraging thing for me has been where the hosts have pulled me aside and been like, that was pretty good, blah, 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 and like giving me good advice.
That's cool.
That's the only part that I've been able to hook into, is this any good? You know?
Yeah.
And so maybe that's why...
That's what the podcast should have been called. Is this any good?
Yeah, I know. Jesus Christ.
Is
this any good, ladies and gentlemen? Rate us on iTunes.
So I think you're... I mean, if you've ever listened to anyone who's like been in the game for a long time, stand-up specifically, right? They always say that it takes about 8 to 10 years to really hone in your talents, to really gain a voice, and to really like get good at doing stand-up, and to be sort of successful, right?
Yeah.
So, I hear what you're saying, and I totally agree that it's really annoying when people aren't paying attention, or that they're shitty audience members, or the people that go up and leave. Well, the very, very first mic that I went to, I was really nervous, and I was just going to watch. I got talked into doing it by this cool guy. I forgot his name, but there was like these 2 dudes just kind of like pacing around. They were just like talking. They were like, oh, I'm just gotta like do my time, get the fuck out of here. Do my time, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, that's kind of a bad attitude. This is my very first time ever going to a open mic, right? So I think like for me, like what I try to do, like when I do them, is I like, even if there is shitty audience members, or even if there is like 2 people in there just looking at their phone, like at least I have more to add to my track record now, right? Sure. Whether it's bad or whether it's good, you know. Like, are you like? It's
one thing at a time. You know, I'm not just going to go to Carnegie Hall.
No.
And fucking headline it. You know, there are steps to be taken, and that's kind of where we're at. And you and I talk all the time. The next step in all of this is to do my own stuff or fucking create on my own. So many people just relax. That's why you guys are doing a podcast. I'm doing stupid shit on my own that may or may not be any good, you know?
So excited.
But just to do it and to... You can't wait around for stuff to happen, especially in this city.
Yeah.
So it's
Nobody's
just like...
gonna hand anything to you because you haven't proven that you have anything to give, you know? People are like waiting for their chance for somebody to go, I'm picking you out of the crowd, now you get to be famous. It's like, no, you haven't earned it, you haven't showed me that you are capable of anything.
Right,
so
and
like,
you might not even be ready for fame or the next step or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to slog it out at these open mics, mostly just to meet other people and network, and eventually set up my own shows, have more of a hand in how that kind of stuff goes. I don't want to be 2 years down the road, performing in front of two dudes and having the fucking two hosts talk in the back. But I get what you're saying, yes, a lot of people are robotic about it because you do need to be, in a way. I'm doing this time, I'm doing this time later, and I got this all mapped out because I want to get my routine down. That's part of it. So I do get it. I was just saying when there's 5 people there, it'd be polite just to fucking hang for 20 minutes for my set. Yeah. It would have been nice.
And it is, it's half of it is getting over your stage fright and just talking to people, and then the other half is actually working on your material. And if you have nobody to work on it too, it's how am I going to get better if nobody's fucking listening? So,
but also that performing for 2 people is a lot harder than performing for 100, right?
Right.
So with
those, I've heard.
But so those moments, even though they kind of suck, I feel my perspective on everything it goes back to just trying to be nice, right? And try to be positive, right?
Yeah.
It's just those moments you just got to be this is what it is. At first, this is what it's going to be.
Yeah,
because everyone,
100%.
every single goddamn person that's successful in stand-up has those moments where they performed at a laundromat for a fucking old fat lady.
Yeah. Or a strip
that's
club
doing her laundry.
Nobody's listening.
Or a strip club where everyone's staring at ass.
Right.
So I just try when I do that stuff, I just try to be more positive about it. It sucks, but it's that's the grind of it.
Oh, right? and the fact that now I know and I can tell everybody else, don't go to then that, I guess, is worth it at the end of the day, but also it's just
it also,
my Wednesday night could have been a little more efficient.
I like that you, you said, you've done some of the groundwork to find out, what these open mics are like, and you've made it, for me, sound a lot less pressure, because there's hardly anybody there. People, you do have to work a little bit harder for people to pay attention, but for me, that's what I'm good at.
Sure.
I'm not really good at walking in and having everybody waiting for me to say something. It's more I am good at drawing people in.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you have told me what it's like, I'm I think I could. That sounds a little bit easier than a whole room of people waiting for you to fuck up.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it just feels less pressure, and that is exciting.
And let me be clear, once again, I was also just disappointed that the hosts were talking.
That's so rude.
I think the host is also a big glue person when it comes to these open mics, because the better ones I've been to are, like I was saying, the ones where the host is really nice and encouraging and keeping the show moving along and blah, blah, blah. You're talking during my set when there's 2 people there. That's rude.
Yeah.
So, scratch that one off the list. But you're right. There is something to be said. I had this video game joke, and one girl in the front, busted out laughing, and I was okay, one person thought this was funny. Yeah. I might be onto something with this joke. So even one person can, but where does it go from there is kind of where I'm thinking about.
Well, if there was 2 people in the crowd and you made one person laugh, you just made 50% of the audience laugh.
We can do numbers all day.
Just try to think of it that way.
I agree.
Have you been to the Fourth Wall?
No, I haven't done anything intense like that yet, because I kind of want to just slug it out with these for a little while longer, and then once I get back, because I don't even think I'm that good right now. That's the thing. I think I'm still very poor at this.
Yeah, if you've been doing it for 12 weeks.
Yeah, but I did it in Chicago a couple times.
Oh, okay.
And the thing I like about LA is people in LA are actually funny. Chicago! Fuck you, dude! Sitting through Chicago open mics just kill me with a spoon.
That think they're funny and they're not.
It's just not good. And I think at least in LA, if you're mildly talented, you're let's go to LA. Again, I don't know if I'm one of these people, but you generally do come out here if you're I'm onto something here. So I will sit at open mics and outright laugh here. LOLs at some of the fucking people up there. Mm-hmm. And in those Chicago open mics, I didn't laugh one time.
Well, I think we're going to have a good time.
So we're never going to be sponsored by Chicago.
Thank God.
Because you're not funny, Chicago, and you don't dance.
That's actually the other thing I was going to talk about.
Finally, this is what I've been wanting to talk about the whole time.
Loves to go dancing.
Yeah, Stop hour and a half in, and you're just getting to dancing.
It was the first thing that he said to me. He's like, "Yeah, man, Monday nights is like dance parties," and I was like, "Wait a minute, what do you mean by dance?"
Monday nights are the best, and Blue Mondays. But we were talking about it in terms of like. The service industry here is so strong.
He was saying that Monday is like the first day of the weekend for people that work in the service industry because you work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday you get a day off, and you're like, let's go do something.
Right. Yeah. And usually Tuesdays, right? Isn't Monday Tuesday?
Mine are usually Monday through Wednesday. I think is my weekend.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's like Monday nights you're fucking cutting loose. So why not go to the shortstop and cut a little rug?
Yeah, and then Matt would like to do, which I would also like to do, a podcast where we go to dance nights and we come back and podcast and basically talk about our experience, how good it was, the ranking of
because after the breakup, and I was here for that intermittent amount of time. In 2017, I went to these places almost every fucking night.
You danced the night away?
I danced the night away. It was for whatever reason, it made me feel better. To go back to my love of music and my love of connecting with other people. When people are dancing, to me, I'm in hog heaven. Because it's people connecting to music and reacting to music and just like I love that.
Being present.
And being present and enjoying the moment and all that kind of good stuff. So it was just like and I love music, so when a DJ comes on and they play something from the 60s I've never heard of, that's when I get really excited because I'm like, who is this artist? What's this? I think I'm up on things, but that's what I like about LA too. You have DJs who are like, I'm throwing something at you. You got to see if you like it, and I bring it out.
The audience member that they love because, like, if it was me, so I'm not a great dancer. I don't like enjoy.
I doubt.
I wasn't gonna assume.
I don't enjoy like. I've never once been like, let's go dancing. Like when I went to high school prom, like I was like really nervous to dance. But on the flip side, I'm like my music taste is as wide as it can possibly be. But one of my favorite things, and I was in a metal band, and I play guitar, and like I've always loved heavy music. So this weekend, actually, I'm going to see a metal band, Lamb of God, and like
big one. Yeah.
I already know that like I am going to be a few shots in, and I am going to be in that mosh pit, and I love that because I can relate to you because like you say you like to dance and you like to like let loose and stuff, and like I don't know what that feels like as far as like Motown or something like that, but I totally know what that feels like as far as like metal.
Absolutely, and I was
moshing is just how you dance to metal.
Exactly,
it's
a communal experience with other people, right?
That has to do with other people, and you're doing it to the music. So if the music stops, everybody would be like, "What? Keep 100%. Going! I want to move."
Yeah.
You know, and just the sound of that music. That's how your body interprets it, because that's what dancing is. You're just interpreting music into your body.
Absolutely. I'm a punk kid. So I was a straight edge punk kid throughout high school.
But you had all the girlfriends.
And so
a lot of NoFX.
No, I did not.
Misfits.
I had my like ska thing going on too in high school. And you know what ska is, right?
Real Big Fish.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like Real Big Fish and fucking Mighty Mighty Bosstones and stuff like that. And my Swedish ex, when I played it for her, I was like, no, this is Real Big Fish. I was really into this in high school. And I was like, listening to it, and I was like, oh, no wonder I did get laid in high school. I was fucking listening to this? This is terrible.
Same thing with me. Like, I was listening to a lot of like Slipknot
dude.
in high school, you know?
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
So... But I would go to shows and I would skank it up or I would mosh with people or whatever else. It was like to go back to the just loving live experiences and live things with other people and enjoying myself. So absolutely. Your moshing is,
it's a version.
It's a version of it. Yeah.
That I mean,
but what I was saying is
I bet you I need more ladies though at these dance parties.
Trust me, there is not a lot of women at metal shows.
Yeah,
Trust
I wouldn't expect that.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of women at comedy stuff either.
Yeah.
It's a very male.
Those jams,
No,
those improv jams are like 80% dudes.
Yeah.
And it's like, oof.
Maybe improv, but at the Comedy Store, there's a lot of women there.
Well, are they there on their own, or are they
mics.
there with their man?
Open mics, there are
There's
a
been a
healthy
few
amount of
times.
women there, now that I think about it.
Yeah, no, there's
Really?
a lot of women that do open mics. One of my like favorite like not famous yet like open. No, she's not really an open micer. She's kind of progressed, but she was a regular on Kill Tony.
Oh yeah.
Allie Makovsky. She's fucking hilarious. Like to me, she's like one of the ones that's out there like killing it right now. There's another one.
Well, I don't know. I looked around at the audience when we were there, and it was just dudes.
I think that had a lot to do with Super Troopers. The Super Trooper guys.
Why
being
is
there.
Super Troopers a male movie?
It's
It's
not.
kind of bro-y,
Yeah,
head thing.
Not a lot of women love that shit, but like
Just
the week
me.
before we took
There's
you to
plenty
Kill
of
Tony,
women, but not the majority.
Before we took you to Kill Tony, like one of the times, like we were, I forgot if it was like, it was me and my two roommates that went just by ourselves. But there was like sitting next to us were those like these pretty hot chicks, and they were like, oh, Tony's like the best, like blah blah blah. And they're like it's usually maybe there's more men, but I feel like it's pretty even nowadays.
Oh, well, that's good.
Well, we can see it tonight since we're all going.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
So Mondays are great for dancing. Saturdays are a big dance day as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, what else did you have? Sorry, I didn't mean to just go off on a tangent there.
No, I feel
what's
like
the latest?
I'm just excited because you seem to really, because you're already doing a podcast with your brother and Jackie about It's Always Sunny. They're basically, they watch an episode, they
break it down
analyze
every episode.
talking about
But it's
what's
always
funny.
sunny in
You
Philadelphia.
you pick a winner of every episode. Whoever
We're
what
keeping it to
character.
15 minutes long, so we're just like in and out. We're doing like Jackie and I printed off some famous scenes and we reenacted them.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah, she says like, "Why don't you play the clips on YouTube?" I'm like, "Fuck that shit! I want to do them." Like, so
You'll get flagged if
we
you do
just
that.
have fun. Yeah. I asked that too, but
Get
yeah,
flagged
we're
real
just
quick.
having fun. I mean, that was part of it. Was like, so to go back to your example of like the first time we hung out, I didn't know what to do, and I was just curious about all this stuff, and I was putting my toes in the water, so to speak. Because there are so many different mediums that you can do now to get the whatever I was talking about, angst or sadness, or turn any of this energy into something positive and fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of creative outlets.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So which one is like working the best for me? Which one do people want to see me in? Where am I funniest? I keep going back to like, Will Ferrell is the funniest man alive, but he's like never done stand-up.
Right.
So like
he hasn't.
Same with
that was his
Jason
medium,
Mantzoukas.
right? And Jason Mantzoukas is a straight up UCB improv dude. Like now he's an actor, he gets roles and stuff, but that's off of the improv he did.
Right.
So it's like,
I didn't know
what's
that.
the medium of what I can bring to the table funny?
Yeah, how can I highlight this
Yes.
this vague
It might
talent?
not be improv. It might not be stand-up.
But this is another reason that I find stand-up comedy like so interesting is because there's different types. Like the other day I was telling you about a bit that I had an idea for, and you're like, well, what does that pertain to you? And I was like, well, I mean, there's observational comedy,
Yeah.
right? That usually doesn't really pertain to you. It pertains to like your opinion of something, but it doesn't pertain to like you specifically.
Yeah, but I was just saying that opinion isn't unique to you. I feel like a lot of people probably think that. So if
exactly. So if someone else is thinking it, and I'm on stage and I have the microphone, and I have a funny opinion about it, then they're going to laugh because they thought about it too, and that's what
Wow, you're
observation.
getting really mad at me
No.
for saying
Oh, no,
some
no.
of your bits weren't funny.
Oh,
You should
that wasn't
relax.
even a bit though.
we gotta fight. Guys.
That was
He's
first
coming
fight
for
of the
me.
pod.
No,
He's coming for me.
No. But that was just that's
That's why I
like
bring out people.
But that no. I'm not mad. Did I look mad?
You turned on me and you started saying things
'Cause
and
I'm
not
talking
blinking.
to you.
Well, your eyes got big.
Check the videotape. How big was his eyes?
I'm not mad. No, but I feel like there is observational comedy.
Yes,
and
I agree with you.
That's what it is.
But it should be your observation, truly.
It is his. It was
Okay.
his. He didn't like take it from somebody, but
yeah.
I was just saying, like, I don't understand.
Well, it's interesting
I don't know.
you say that because you're like the person in the crowd might identify with that. But I guess
the whole goal of stand-up is to make people laugh, but also in what form do you do that, right?
Well,
so there's like self-deprecation. Like I go up there and be like, "Oh, I'm fucking fat," or whatever, or like someone goes up there, "Oh, I'm fucking whatever. My hair looks stupid," or
It's ripping on yourself. I mean, what did the comedians do in the 1920s? My wife is, she's sleeping around town, and like
it's changed.
You've always been the boob, though. The comic is usually the boob and the butt of the joke, right?
Yeah.
So that stuff is not new. But I guess what is being said, to use the Will Ferrell thing again, he's just being Will Ferrell. I don't think he's like, oh, I should act like Anchorman or whatever. He's just up there like, well, this is what I think is funny to this, and just so it's
he's
being yourself
with what other people are thinking. He's like, this is funny to me, and that's what UCB was. Our coach that we had the other day, the guy that you brought in, he was like, the what's so important, or what he wanted us to know, is that don't look for what you think other people will think is funny. Do what you think is funny, and that will translate.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the audience, to me, the audience comes secondarily. Because it's like, I need to get these weird things in my head out somehow, or else I'm going to go crazy.
I know exactly.
And maybe if people laugh at this, great. If they don't, what am I supposed to do? Because it's like, right, these are my thoughts and my feelings. So if people glop onto this, and my comedic heroes, the South Park guys, those guys don't give a fuck what you guys think.
No.
They don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. They're going, this is funny.
Unapologetic.
Right.
Yep.
This is funny, and if you find it funny, great. If you don't, we don't give a shit.
We're not for you.
Right, exactly. We're doing what we want to do.
Yeah.
And so those to me, but it's early on is what I'm saying is the toughest part, because it's like,
because you're trying to find your voice.
Yeah, you're trying to find a voice, and whatever comes out of it,
Yeah.
Yeah, and the more stage time you do, whether it's in front of one person or a midget or whatever it is.
And doing improv and doing... We can skip that over or cut it
Yeah,
out.
we're gonna cut that out. You can't say that.
Whether it's doing... I think it is little people now.
Yeah.
But irregardless of that.
He's from a place where they just throw
midgets around?
Oh,
no.
come on.
That is what that area does, and it was so jarring to me that those words were
I
used.
feel like midget isn't that big of a deal.
Midget is the newest word that
I
you
brought a
cannot
midget
say.
along, so here we go. What do you think, buddy?
Anyway.
That was a joke.
Anyway,
let's move on.
So we got off of dancing, though. Can we go back to dancing?
Let's talk
of
about
course
dancing,
we can go
yeah.
back to dancing.
What's your
I
favorite
could talk
type
about
of,
this the rest of the fucking
What's your favorite type of what's your favorite?
Well, Matt's dancing is different than mine. Or
I feel like you like to
our
dance to like Lil Dicky and hip hop, and I feel like you dance to like
good
swing
beats.
music.
He can dance to like rock music, which I don't feel the same way, because the beats are like, it's kind of more like you move to the music, but that's like what you enjoy. Because we went to the Motown Monday, and I was like,
That was not Motown Monday.
It wasn't? What was it?
No, that was Wednesday. That was my birthday night. That was a Wednesday night.
No, not the short stuff. We went to another place. Oh, where were we? I can't remember. We went to a place and they were playing like the
Chinatown.
Strokes. And that place.
Yeah, the Strokes is in Motown.
Jesus.
Well, what was at the Chinatown? What was that? That was
80s and 2000s indie rock.
Okay, indie rock.
So it was like, it
That's
was like
dancing
Franz
music to me.
Ferdinand. It was like, I think...
Modest Mouse.
Yeah, Modest Mouse and like that kind of era.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's also when I was younger as well. Not this old, decrepit 37-year-old you see in front of you today.
Seriously,
So
dude? I thought you were like...
I do get to live out, like, listening to the Strokes again.
Yeah.
And the girls there are a little more my age, too.
Well, I was just saying, because it's not my... I mean, I enjoy that music, but if I'm going to dance, it's a little bit more... it's a more specific
And that's
sound.
why I'm interested to see you come out, because these places, I was going to send you, because Green Slime was on Saturday night, and they only play 50s and 60s garage rock, right? And I fucking love it. And I was going to send you, there was a little Instagram story that Green Slime had. The dance floor is packed. So I think you will at least respond to the energy.
Yeah.
Like the places. So I listed out 8 places in which I want to do this podcast of rating these dance places.
Yeah.
Because I think my perspective is pretty cool. And so all of them. The one we went to was not very well attended. Like, that's not on the list. I want to go to places that are like, people are fucking there dancing around. Even the Strokes night, I think they had the upstairs open. They shouldn't have done that. Everybody should have been downstairs.
Yeah, it like
the energy
split the crowd. It was weird.
So all of the things that I've chosen are going to be packed events. So at least I know you can entertain yourself, Betsy. I've seen, if you're ever standing by yourself, you're very rarely standing by yourself at a bar. 3 men are usually lined up ready to fucking go. So I'm not worried about you, and I'll be dancing on the dance floor.
Right.
So I think you'll at least respond to the energy of the places and have a good time that way. Maybe it's not even dancing, but we'll see. Maybe I can convert you. I said James Brown the other day, and she's like, James Brown?
I told you're going to be teaching me about music because I really don't know that much. I know what I know, and it's very limited. I will admit that.
Yeah.
I enjoy live music. I enjoy music that plays, but I don't generally know who it is. I almost never know who it is. I have to Shazam everything. But yeah,
well,
so
I think it'll be fun to at least to get you out of your little bubble and take you to other places. But you will like Booty LA is one of them.
I'm so excited.
That one's going to be fun. That's a mashup. Like next week, they're doing boy bands and girl bands mashup.
Yeah. That's going to be fun.
So, I mean, that will be very fun. I like that. That's pretty fun for me, too. But also, the Airliner is like electronica night. You will probably like that as well. That's where Flying Lotus started. And we can even do, like, the histories of these places as well. Because, I mean, the Airliner is really big in LA hip-hop and stuff. Yes. So,
for sure.
And, I mean, where better to learn about LA hip-hop than me?
Than Matt Mentele. I was
from Wisconsin. I know all about it.
Where are your podcasts going to live? Have you posted them anywhere, or are you just archiving them?
I'm editing them right now, and then I'm just going to put them up everywhere. I do have a list. Somebody who did this before is just like, just put them all up here.
Okay.
So I got it. I'll post them anywhere. I don't care anymore.
I'm just curious if people want to tune in to our adventures where they can find it.
They are going to be adventures, you think?
I feel like you guys should just get a GoPro and just walk around and dance and then like record it.
See,
they're weird about videos. Him and Jackie, every time I say, well, are we going to film the podcast? They're like, it's a podcast. You don't film
I also do not want my dancing to be on
Your
film.
dancing is fantastic.
Oh,
it's minimal and beautiful.
You have to be.
You love dancing, but you know you're bad at it.
No,
I
he
think
just
I'm
doesn't want to
decent at it.
broadcast it.
Yeah, it's for me.
Yeah. It's
For me only. And I feel like that's why it does annoy me when I do get Snickers and stuff like that. Like, look at that guy.
Like Candy?
They're like dancing it up. Like Candy.
I'm just kidding.
Snickers.
Snickers.
I had to, sorry.
So, whatever. But I don't like being on camera when I'm just trying to relax and enjoy like dancing and stuff like that. I won't, because they'll have photographers and then post things later.
Yeah.
And I'll always be like, don't take a picture of me. I
Please,
don't like
no,
it
thank
for
you.
some reason. I don't know.
You're very photogenic, though, I feel like.
I am the opposite of that. My dating profiles would disagree with you on that very much.
No, like I feel like you are like you have a very specific look to you. Like
that doesn't mean
that makes more sense.
But like you look like a character.
Yeah, you do have a character.
Well, I look
face.
like this fucking guy from Despicable Me.
Yes,
or
you
whatever.
do.
I don't
it's
think so.
Hilarious.
I don't think so.
What time are we
Anyway,
at?
1:20. You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you want to promote your Instagram at all, so
What
people
time is
can
it?
follow you. We've been on for 120.
Oh, we've been on for 120. I thought you meant that's what.
No,
the
not
time.
what time it was.
All right.
Do you want to promote your Instagram or where people can find you at all? You don't have to.
I will post most stuff on this Facebook page. Like, that's the thing. Even posting this and figuring out where it goes. Mm-hmm. So I did videos with my friends that was called Chicago versus Los Angeles.
Right.
And so I just started to do those, get my friends on, have fun with it, post them. I wanted to start with my friends to see if anybody would care about anything I had to say.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is Mentele Speaks.
Mentele.
My last name.
Right.
Mentele. And I'm posting videos on that. And so I'm kind of like, now the next step is to be like, hey, all of my stuff is over here. Like my podcasts and stuff lie elsewhere. But
so people can just follow this, and we'll probably, like me, we'll post about it.
Yeah.
We can do the links off from there. It's Always Sunny Pod. And also, I mean, Jackie's got a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah.
So we'll see, guys. Yeah, I don't know.
And
Awesome.
before we wrapped it, I just wanted to give a shout out. So yesterday we went to Angel City Brewery, and I bought this rad T-shirt that I'm wearing, which is just a cheeseburger, and I thought it was awesome. And it's this artist called The Sellout. And he was selling T-shirts just like in the brewery, because the brewery is now doubling as like an art museum, or like at least a place for local artists to like show their stuff. So I was like taking a tour, looking at all the art and stuff. I saw this dude; he had all this very graphic stuff, and I was like, "Who are you? What do you do?" And he didn't have his name anywhere. I was like, "Bro, you gotta brand a little bit better than that." But he's The Sellout, and I now follow him on Instagram, and he's working with bloggers who I guess have worn his stuff. So I was like, I'll tag you in my stuff because it's cool. You know, if you could, I don't know, make our Have a Seat shirts or something, that'd be rad.
Did you also make that into a crop top?
Yeah, I did. Well, I asked him because he sold...
that was a normal shirt and you fucking cut it?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, man.
Everything's a crop top in my life. Cropping all the things.
Gotta show off those abs.
Every single thing, dude. Wow.
If I'm not showing off my abs, I'm not showing off nothing.
Okay.
That's
all
cool,
right.
though.
But I work hard. Anyway, no, so I asked the guy, because he had some things in crop, some things in regular.
Yeah.
And I was like, everything I buy now is crop tops. Like, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I can show you how to do it. And he was like, if you want it cropped here, just cut it 2 inches or an inch below and blah, blah, blah. So I did this morning.
Okay.
This is my, I call it my SpongeBob outfit, because I'm wearing a Krabby Patty with my high-waisted, like, cargo work pants or shorts.
I was gonna say, you just looked like you drew a cheeseburger on your, like, Christian uniform.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good look.
It looks good. I finished the coffee, too.
Congratulations.
Took you a whole
good
hour
timing.
and a half.
Well, it's a fucking huge-ass thing of coffee.
I would have had that done in about 10 minutes.
No, I sip it. I enjoy my coffee.
Oh, I don't. I just drink one and then I go get another one.
Just keep it going. Anyway,
enjoy it.
thank
Like,
you
this was
for
too
joining
small.
us, Matt.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having a seat. Find us on YouTube and iTunes, Spotify,
And wherever else.
Stitcher, and wherever else we can shove this thing into your face. So,
Exactly. And we're out.
and we are out.